You ever felt like no matter what you do, life keeps pushing you back? That invisible weight may be what many call bad karma. Stay with me until the end. I will share with you the timeless teachings on how to break free from it.
Do you ever feel like invisible chains are holding you back? Like no matter how much you try, certain patterns keep repeating in your life. The same struggles, the same pain, the same feeling that something heavy is weighing on your heart? Perhaps you've wondered, especially now in this stage of life, why some burdens never seem to lift. Why does suffering follow us even when we've done our best to be good people? My dear friend, what you're feeling is real. And today, I want to walk with you on a journey that has been traveled by countless souls seeking freedom, peace, and the lightness that comes when old burdens finally dissolve. This is not a path of judgment or guilt. This is a path of understanding, compassion, and profound transformation. Because what you're experiencing, what keeps you awake some nights, what sometimes makes your heart feel heavy without clear reason, this may be the echo of what we call karma. And the beautiful truth I want to share with you today is this: you have the power to release it. You have the power to remove bad karma and step into a life of greater peace, even now, especially now. I know you might be thinking, but I'm past 60 now. I've lived most of my life. Is it too late? Let me tell you something from the depths of my heart. It is never too late. In fact, this moment right now, with the wisdom you've gathered over decades, with the softness that comes from years of experience, you are perhaps more ready than ever before. The Buddha taught that every single moment is a new beginning. Every breath is a chance to plant a different seed. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But first, let's understand what we're really dealing with. What is this thing called bad karma that seems to follow us like a shadow? You see, karma is not punishment from an angry God in the sky. It's not a cosmic system of reward and punishment designed to make us suffer. No, karma is something much simpler and, in a way, much more compassionate than that. Karma is simply the law of cause and effect playing out in the realm of our actions, words, and thoughts. Every action is like a seed planted in the ground of reality. And just as an apple seed grows into an apple tree, not an orange tree, our actions grow into experiences that match their nature. When we act with anger, we plant seeds of conflict. When we speak with dishonesty, we plant seeds of confusion and mistrust. When we think with jealousy or bitterness, we water the seeds of our own suffering. This isn't because the universe wants to punish us. It's simply how things work. It's as natural as gravity. Have you noticed how sometimes, even when everything in your external life seems fine, there's this undercurrent of unease? Or how certain situations trigger you in ways that seem disproportionate to what's actually happening? That's old karma ripening. Those are seeds from the past, maybe from last week, maybe from decades ago, finally bearing their fruit. And here's what makes it feel like chains. We often don't remember planting those seeds. We forget the harsh words we spoke in anger 30 years ago, the small dishonesty we justified, the grudge we held onto, the jealousy we harbored. But the seeds remember. They wait in the dark soil of our consciousness until conditions are right, and then they sprout. And we wonder, why is this happening to me? But my dear friend, I didn't bring you here today to make you feel guilty about the past. Guilt is not the Buddhist way. In fact, excessive guilt is just another form of suffering that keeps us trapped. Instead, I want to show you something that the Buddha discovered 2,500 years ago, and that countless practitioners have proven true ever since. Karma is not fixed. It can be transformed. It can be purified. It can be removed. Imagine for a moment that your karma is like a glass of water with mud stirred into it. The water looks murky, dark, undrinkable. But that mud isn't permanently bonded to the water. If you let the glass sit still, if you stop stirring it, the mud naturally settles to the bottom. The water becomes clear again. And with the right practices, which I'm going to share with you today, you can actually remove that mud entirely, leaving only pure, clear water. So let's begin this journey together. And I promise you, by the end of our time today, you won't just understand how karma works. You'll have a practical, powerful tool that you can use immediately to start releasing the bad karma that's been weighing on you. But like any true journey, we must take it one step at a time. The first step is awareness. And this might surprise you, but the most important thing you can do right now today is to stop creating new bad karma. You see, so many people spend all their energy trying to fix the past while they continue making the same mistakes in the present. It's like trying to empty a bathtub while the faucet is still running. So before we clean up the old mud, let's turn off the tap. How do we do that? Through awareness. Through beginning to see clearly what we're doing, saying, and thinking in each moment. The Buddha called this right mindfulness, and it's the foundation of everything. Let me share a story with you. There once was a man who came to a monastery, complaining that he was plagued by bad luck. "Everywhere I go, problems follow me," he said. "My family doesn't respect me. My neighbors avoid me. Even strangers seem to treat me poorly. It must be my karma from past lives." The wise monk said nothing at first. He simply invited the man to stay at the monastery for a week and observe himself. Just observe, nothing else. The man agreed, thinking this was an easy task. By the third day, the man came back to the monk, his face flushed with shame and revelation. "I see it now," he said quietly. "I complain constantly. I criticize everyone around me. I speak harshly without realizing it. I'm impatient, dismissive, and quick to judge. I've been creating my own bad luck with every word and action, and I never even noticed." You see, awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what was always there. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the beginning of change. So I want to ask you now, and please, be gentle with yourself as you consider this. How often are you truly aware of your words? When you speak to your children or grandchildren, are you present, or are you half distracted, half listening, maybe even half critical? When you think about that neighbor who annoys you, or that relative who hurt you years ago, do you notice the quality of your thoughts? Are they kind? Are they forgiving? Or are they planting new seeds of resentment? This isn't about perfection, my friend. It's about beginning to notice. Because every time you notice a harsh thought before you speak it, you've stopped a seed of bad karma from being planted. Every time you pause before reacting in anger, you've broken a chain. Every time you choose a kinder word when a cruel one rises to your lips, you've planted a seed of good karma instead. And here's something beautiful. Even noticing that you failed to notice is progress. Even catching yourself halfway through a complaint and thinking, "Oh, there I go again," that's awareness growing. That's the light getting brighter. But awareness alone isn't enough. We need the second element of transformation, compassion and good action. Because while stopping bad karma prevents new problems, it doesn't erase what's already been planted. For that, we need to actively plant new, powerful, positive seeds that can overwhelm and transform the old ones. Think of it this way. Imagine you have a garden full of weeds. These are your negative karmic seeds. You could spend all your time pulling out weeds, one by one, exhausting yourself in the process. Or you could plant so many beautiful flowers, so many nourishing vegetables, so many strong trees that the weeds simply get crowded out, starved of sunlight and resources. Both approaches work, but the second one is far more joyful, isn't it? This is the power of compassionate action. When we deliberately act with kindness, generosity, and love, we don't just prevent bad karma, we actively create good karma that has the power to ripen before the old bad karma does. It's like planting fast-growing flowers among slow-growing weeds. Now, you might be thinking, "But I'm retired now." I don't have much. How can I be generous? What kind of good actions can I really do at my age? Oh, my dear friend, this is such a common misunderstanding, and I want to clear it away right now. Generosity doesn't mean you need to donate millions to charity or build hospitals. Compassion doesn't require you to be young and strong and running around doing grand gestures. Some of the most powerful acts of kindness are the smallest ones, done with a full heart. Have you smiled genuinely at someone who looks sad? That's planting a seed. Have you truly listened to someone who needed to be heard without interrupting or making it about yourself? That's planting a seed. Have you forgiven someone in your heart, even if they never asked for forgiveness? Even if they never knew they hurt you? That's planting a powerful seed that transforms not just your karma, but your whole inner landscape. Let me tell you about a woman I once knew. She was 78 years old, living in a small apartment, her body weakened by age and illness. She felt she had nothing to offer the world. But she started a simple practice. Every morning, she would sit by her window, and for 10 minutes, she would send loving thoughts to everyone who walked by. She didn't know them. They didn't know her. But in her heart, she would whisper, "May you be happy. May you be at peace. May you be free from suffering." That's all she did, 10 minutes a day. But within a few months, something remarkable happened. Her chronic pain began to diminish. Her depression lifted. Her relationship with her estranged daughter somehow began to heal, even though she hadn't told anyone about her practice. Her whole life shifted. Was it magic? No, it was karma. She was planting thousands of seeds of loving kindness every single day, and they were ripening into a harvest of peace and connection. And the old seeds of bitterness and resentment that had been buried in her heart for decades simply couldn't compete with this flood of positive karma. They withered away like weeds in a well-tended garden. This is available to you too, right now, right where you are. You don't need to change your circumstances. You don't need to become someone different. You just need to begin with whatever small acts of kindness you can manage. Maybe it's calling that friend you've been meaning to reach out to. Maybe it's apologizing to someone you hurt, even if it was years ago, even if it feels uncomfortable. Maybe it's volunteering an hour a week at a local shelter or library. Maybe it's simply being more patient with the grocery store cashier or the driver who cuts you off in traffic. Every act of genuine kindness is a deposit in your karmic bank account. And unlike worldly wealth, this is something you truly can take with you. The Buddha taught that when we die, only 3 things follow us: our karma, and our karma. Everything else, all the money, possessions, accomplishments, even our bodies, gets left behind. But the patterns we've woven through our actions, those come with us into whatever comes next. Doesn't that change how you think about what's important? When you realize that the kindness you show today might be the most valuable thing you do all year. But now, let me share with you the most powerful practice of all. This is the 3rd element of removing bad karma, purification. Because while awareness stops new negative karma, and good actions create positive karma, purification actually goes back and cleanses the old karma that's already been planted. It's like going into that garden and actually removing the roots of the weeds, not just covering them with flowers. In Buddhist tradition, there are specific purification practices that have been used for thousands of years, and they work on a principle that might surprise you. Genuine regret combined with determination to change has the power to neutralize karmic seeds before they ripen. Think about it this way. A seed needs certain conditions to grow. It needs water, sunlight, soil, and warmth. If you change the conditions, the seed won't sprout. Similarly, a karmic seed needs certain mental and emotional conditions to ripen into suffering. When we transform those conditions through sincere purification, we can actually prevent old karma from manifesting. The practice I'm going to teach you involves 4 powers, and you can do it right now, today, and every day for the rest of your life. It takes less than 10 minutes, but its effects are profound beyond measure. The first power is the power of regret. Notice I didn't say guilt or shame. Regret is different. Regret is clearly seeing that you caused harm to yourself or others and genuinely wishing you hadn't. It's like if you accidentally stepped on a flower while walking through a garden. You'd naturally feel bad about it. You wouldn't beat yourself up endlessly, but you'd genuinely wish you'd been more careful. That's regret, clean, clear, and free from self-hatred. So the first step is to sit quietly, close your eyes, and bring to mind the actions, words, or thoughts you regret. Maybe it's something from yesterday. Maybe it's something from 40 years ago that still weighs on your heart. Don't judge yourself. Just acknowledge it honestly. Yes, I did that. Yes, it caused harm. Yes, I wish I had done differently. Feel that regret fully. Let it arise naturally, like a gentle sadness, not a harsh self-punishment. The second power is the power of resolve. This is where you make a sincere commitment to yourself. I will do my best not to repeat this action. If I'm in a similar situation again, I will try to act differently. Notice the gentleness here too. We're not making impossible vows or setting ourselves up for failure. We're simply setting an intention, knowing that we're human and imperfect, but genuinely committed to growing and changing. The third power is the power of refuge. This is where you connect with something greater than yourself, whatever that means to you. For traditional Buddhists, it's taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. But for you, it might be connecting with your highest values, with universal love, with the divine, with the best version of yourself. The point is to anchor yourself in goodness, to remind yourself that you're not just your mistakes. You're also capable of wisdom, love, and transformation. And the fourth power, this is the most important one, is the power of remedy. This is where you actually do something positive to counteract the negative karma. It could be a specific good action related to what you regret. For example, if you regret speaking harshly to someone, you could make a commitment to speak kindly to 5 people today. If you regret being stingy, you could practice generosity in some small way. But there's also a universal remedy that works for all negative karma. And this is what I want to give you today as your practical tool. It's the practice of the mantra of compassion. In Tibetan Buddhism, there's a mantra that embodies the energy of infinite compassion. Om Mani Padme Hum. It's pronounced Om Mani Padme Hum. You don't need to be Buddhist to use it. You don't need to believe anything in particular. This mantra is simply a sound vibration that connects you with the universal energy of compassion. And when you recite it with sincere intention, it has the power to purify negative karma. Here's how you do it. Every morning or evening or both, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and begin your purification practice. First, bring to mind whatever you regret from your past. Feel that clean regret. Then, make your resolve to do better. Connect with your highest self. And then, begin reciting the mantra, either aloud or silently in your mind. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. As you recite, imagine that with each repetition, light flows through your entire being, washing away the darkness of old karma. See those old seeds dissolving in this light of compassion. Do this for at least 5 minutes, reciting the mantra at least 108 times. If you want, you can use a set of prayer beads to count, or you can simply estimate the time. I know it might sound too simple to be powerful, but that's the beauty of it. The most profound truths are often the simplest. Water carves through stone, not through force, but through persistence, through showing up again and again. Similarly, this daily practice of purification, done with sincerity, has the power to wash away karmic patterns that have been with you for lifetimes. I once knew a man who had been estranged from his son for 15 years. They had a terrible falling out over something that, in retrospect, seemed so small. But pride and hurt had built a wall between them that seemed impossible to cross. This man started doing the purification practice every day, bringing his regret about the situation to mind, not blaming his son or himself, just genuinely wishing things had gone differently. He recited the compassion mantra for 10 minutes each morning. He didn't tell his son. He didn't do anything externally at first. But after 3 months of this practice, he felt an inner shift. The hardness around his heart began to soften. And one day, almost without thinking, he picked up the phone and called his son. Not to argue or explain or defend himself. Just to say, "I miss you. I love you. And I'm sorry for my part in what happened." His son was silent for a long moment. And then he said, "Dad, I've been thinking about calling you for weeks. I don't know why, but something's been pulling at my heart." Within a month, they had reconciled. Within a year, their relationship was stronger than it had ever been. Was it just coincidence? Or had the purification practice actually transformed the karmic pattern between them? I believe it was the latter. When we change internally, the external world has a mysterious way of responding. Now, I want to address something you might be wondering. What if I've done something really terrible? What if there's something in my past that's so bad, I'm not sure even this practice can help? My dear friend, please hear this clearly. There is no karma so heavy that it cannot be purified. The Buddha himself told stories of people who had committed terrible acts, even murder, who, through sincere practice and transformation, eventually became enlightened beings. A past does not define you unless you let it. But here's what does matter. Your sincerity right now. Your willingness to face what you've done with honesty and without making excuses. Your genuine determination to be different from this moment forward. That's what transforms karma, not perfection. Not pretending you never made mistakes, but authentic acknowledgement and heartfelt change. There's an old Buddhist story about a monk who, in his earlier life as a bandit, had killed 99 people. He was known as the most evil man in the land. But one day, he met the Buddha on a road. Something about the Buddha's presence stopped him in his tracks. Instead of attacking, he fell to his knees and begged to know how someone like him could possibly find peace. The Buddha looked at him with infinite compassion and said simply, "Come and follow me." And so the bandit became a monk. He dedicated the rest of his life to purification practice, to serving others, to meditation and transformation. It wasn't easy. His past haunted him. People in villages recognized him, then threw stones. But he continued practicing with sincerity and humility. And the Buddha said that by the end of his life, through the power of his purification and practice, this former murderer had removed all his negative karma and became an enlightened being. If he could do it, if transformation is possible for someone who had caused so much harm, then surely it's possible for you and me as well. But let's be clear about something important. Removing bad karma doesn't mean that suddenly all your problems will disappear overnight. Some of the seeds planted in the past may still need to ripen. That's the nature of karma. What changes is your relationship with those experiences. You stop being at their mercy. You stop feeling like a victim. You develop the inner strength and peace to meet whatever comes with grace. Think of it like this. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks as you walk through life. Purification practice doesn't make you suddenly float above the ground, but it does start removing rocks from the backpack one by one. Each time you practice, the load gets lighter. And even before the backpack is empty, you notice you're walking more easily, standing more upright, breathing more freely. Eventually, you might even forget you're wearing a backpack at all. And here's something else beautiful that happens. As you purify your own karma, you naturally become a source of healing for others. Your presence becomes lighter, calmer, more peaceful. Your children and grandchildren might not understand why, but they feel more at ease around you. Your friends might not be able to explain it, but they seek your company more. You become like a clear pool of water in which others can see their own reflection more clearly. This is the ripple effect of purification. You're not just freeing yourself, you're contributing to the healing of everyone you touch. And in this stage of your life, when you might sometimes wonder about your purpose or whether you still matter, let this be your answer. You matter immensely. Your inner work is some of the most important work happening on this planet. Every moment you spend in purification is a gift to the entire world. So now, my dear friend, we've walked this journey together. We've talked about what karma really is, not punishment, but cause and effect. We've learned the 3 keys to removing bad karma: awareness to stop creating new negative patterns, compassion and good actions to plant positive seeds that overwhelm the negative ones, and purification to cleanse the old karma at its root. But I promised you something specific, didn't I? I promised you a simple, life-changing practice you could start today. So let me give it to you now, clearly and completely. Starting today, commit to this 10-minute practice every single day. Find a quiet moment, preferably in the morning or evening. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take 3 deep breaths to settle your mind. Then bring to mind one thing you regret from your past. It could be recent or long ago. Don't drown in the story. Just acknowledge it clearly and feel genuine regret. Then, in your heart, make a sincere resolve to do better faced with a similar situation. Connect with your highest self, whatever that means to you. And then, recite the mantra of compassion, Om Mani Padme Hum, at least 108 times, imagining with each repetition that light is washing through you, dissolving old karmic patterns, leaving you cleaner, lighter, freer. After you finish, sit in silence for a moment, and then dedicate the merit of your practice. Say in your heart, may the benefits of this practice help not just me, but all beings who suffer. May all beings be free from the pain of bad karma. May all beings find peace. This dedication multiplies the power of your practice exponentially, because you're no longer doing it just for yourself. You're doing it for everyone. That's it. 10 minutes a day. But done with sincerity, done with consistency. This practice has the power to transform your life. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. I've experienced it myself. The weight you've been carrying, sometimes without even fully recognizing it was there, begins to lift. Old patterns that seemed impossible to break start loosening their grip. Relationships that seemed beyond repair find their way toward healing. And most importantly, that deep, inner peace you've been seeking, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstances, that doesn't fluctuate with the ups and downs of life, that peace begins to emerge naturally, like the sun coming out from behind clouds. You might not notice dramatic changes immediately. This isn't magic. It's medicine. And like any medicine, it works gradually, cumulatively, building up in your system until one day you realize something has fundamentally shifted. The person you are today is not the same person you were 6 months ago. The heaviness that used to wake you at 3 in the morning has eased. The regrets that used to plague you have softened into wisdom. The fear that used to grip you has transformed into quiet confidence. And perhaps the most beautiful gift of all, you begin to see that you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your karma. You are the awareness that can observe all of these things, the consciousness that can choose, moment by moment, who you want to be. You are the sky, not the clouds. The clouds of karma pass through, but they do not define you. This realization, this freedom, is your birthright. It has always been available. It is available right now. And now you have the tools to claim it. So I want to leave you with a final thought, a final blessing if you will. May you have the courage to face your past with honesty and without cruelty toward yourself. May you have the wisdom to recognize that every moment offers a new beginning. May you have the compassion to be gentle with yourself as you walk this path. May you have the persistence to practice daily, even when results aren't immediately visible. And may you taste, in this very lifetime, the freedom and peace that comes when old karma is released and your heart stands clear and unburdened. You are precious, my friend. Your life, even with all its imperfections, has value beyond measure. And it's never too late to lighten your load, to heal old wounds, to step into the peace that has been waiting for you all along. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today, you've taken that step. Tomorrow, take another. And the next day, another still. And one day, you'll look back and realize you've walked so far. You've come so far. And the chains that once held you are nothing but dust scattered on the path behind you. Go now with my blessing. Practice with sincerity. Live with compassion. And trust that the universe is far more forgiving, far more loving, far more supportive of your transformation than you might have imagined. The bad karma that weighs on you is not your destiny. It's simply old weather passing through. And with each practice, each act of kindness, each moment of awareness, the sky of your true nature becomes clearer and clearer, until finally, only pure light remains. Om Mani Padme Hum. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings find peace, including you, my dear friend, especially you.